evening, and welcome to Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jackie O. Happy Monday, you all. Happy May the 5th. Can you believe we are already in the month of May? We are 5 months in of 2025. Wow, time is going by so fast. But again, thank you all so much for joining us on this evening. And we have a show in store for you on this evening. As you know, Jackie O is all about helping you to think well, to live well, and to glow from the inside out. We bring you shows from literally around the world. We have had women on our show, not only in the States, but in Germany, Japan, the Philippines, Kuwait, Ghana. Oh my God, let's see, Portugal, Paris, and tonight. I already told y'all tonight, it's just going to be hot. And so I hope you are tuned in. I hope you share this broadcast on your pages. Let us know where you're tuning in from in the comment streets. That's in the comment section. Let us know where you're tuning in from, because tonight is going to be a hot show. That's all I can say, because our guest is Daisy Johnson. Daisy is joining us all the way from Thailand, guys, live. This is a live show tonight, and we're going to be talking to her. She is a former professional Muay Thai fighter. Listen, her whole family are champions. Like, they're all fighters. And so they're all champions, and we're going to get a chance to talk to her and just see what all she has going on and how she can share with you on today of how she has used her skills that she has learned in Muay Thai, and she has also been able to use it in real life. So again, tonight is going to be super hot. So I don't know if you're ready. I'm ready. Give us some thumbs up. Let us know that you are ready. We're getting ready to introduce Daisy to you all on this evening. And no, we're not related. Yes, I know Johnson is such a great name, y'all. It's such a great name, but hey, but we're still great. But anyways, I am getting ready to introduce her. And after this brief introduction, you will see the beautiful Daisy Johnson. We'll be right back.
Daisy Johnson, a former professional Muay Thai fighter, wife to a stadium champion, and mother of three, spent 9 years raising her oldest son as a single mom before building a life with her husband. Today, 2 of their sons are professional fighters, and the family runs Kingdom Martial Arts in San Antonio, Texas. In 2016, the Johnsons took a leap of faith, moving to Thailand, the birthplace of Muay Thai, to live, train, and immerse themselves in the culture. They returned to the U.S. in late 2019, and despite the global shutdown, they launched Kingdom Martial Arts, Royal Rump, which is Daisy's Muay Thai-based training program, and Knockout, a clean wellness brand for fighters and families. Through it all, Daisy has leaned on the discipline of Muay Thai to navigate motherhood, entrepreneurship, and life's toughest battles. A powerful testament to resilience, strength, and finding flow even in the fight. Please help us welcome to Motivational Monday with Jackie O, the amazing, the strong, and the beautiful Daisy Johnson.
Hey, Daisy.
Hi. Oh, that was beautiful. Well done.
Thank you. Welcome to Motivational Monday.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here and share this journey with you guys and your viewers, everyone, every woman out there looking, watching. I hope that you guys are definitely inspired by this show today. I'm so glad to be here and ready to dive into the great things that, God has done for me and my family. So I'm ready when you are.
All right. Daisy, we talked just briefly before the show, and I was sharing with you how, as I was preparing for the show, I was just thinking, wow, Did Daisy even know years ago? Because like the last time I saw you was like in 20, I don't know, like
14,
14, was it 14, 13? It was
a long
maybe
time.
12. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um, the last time I saw you, and you have been on this journey and in Thailand, back to the States, now back to Thailand. And I was just like, wow, did you ever imagine that your life would be like this?
No. The answer is definitely no, no, no. I can't sometimes, like I said earlier, I just sit back and I'm just like, how did I get here? Like, how did this life really manifest so rapidly? And it's just, become just something that, I just want people all over the world to know that, it can happen. Just change the way that you see life and change the way that you think and the things that you say and how you feel about yourself. And if you think great, you'll manifest greatness. So this is where I am, and I'm just excited that this is my life. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Sometimes I'm like, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's, like they say, if you, what is it? The saying this is, if you have lemons, make lemonade, or what is,
Yeah.
whatever the saying is.
Well, basically, yeah, making lemonade out of lemons. There you go. Turn
Right.
these
So,
lemons into lemonade.
yes. So here we are.
Wow. So Daisy, of course, you're married to Terrence. And so initially you guys, when y'all went out there, it was for him. And
Yes.
then you ended up getting into the industry as well.
Yes.
Tell us, how did that happen?
So initially, I just wanted, well, of course, I was like, life was hectic in the States. If you know me and you know my past, you know that it was really hectic, right? So it was like God had given me an ultimatum, like either A, you follow him, or B, you stay here and who knows, right?
Yeah.
And so I took the leap of faith as a supporting wife, as a mother, as a wife, and I said, okay, we put a plan together. It took us 18 months to get out of the States. I'm talking about, we had a house, we had kids, we had jobs, we had car. I mean, we had a normal American life. And so we prepared, we sold our house, we sold everything we had, and we left America with 2 suitcases, nothing else. And, we embraced the culture. He started training, he started fighting. And, at the time I thought, well, maybe I'll just do it to kind of lose weight and just, stay active. But then once I got immersed into the Thai culture and the beliefs and everything that Muay Thai offers, I thought, now what? I know how to use my hands. I know how to use my elbows. I know how to protect myself. Now let me see if this stuff really works. And so that's how the journey began. And I took my first fight and I won in the second round. And I thought, well, this is easy. Let's do it again. So I don't know, might have been like 5, 6 months later, I had another fight. And that one actually went the whole 5 rounds, which is like
Wow.
15 minutes, right? And so I remember being in there and thinking, like, I gave birth to 3 kids. I've been through so much. I think I can do 15 minutes of this so-called fighting thing. And so sure enough, I went to the fight and I won and I got the champion belt. And,
Wow.
the journey just kept going. And so now here we are.
Wow. That is an amazing story. And that whole story just lets you know, you said 18 months, that
Yes.
you can do anything. If you
Anything.
put your mind to it and you're disciplined and you stick with it, you can do anything. And
Anything.
I remember when I went and I worked overseas on a contract job, and I was kind of up in the air. Should I go? Because the girls were still at home. They were, young. And I remember asking my dad, and I was sitting on the porch with him one day, him and my mom. And he said, Jackie, before you were even born, God knew the path that you were going to be on and where you were going to be at this particular time. And this door of opportunity opened, and you have to walk through it,
Yes.
because once it closes, you
That's
will not be able to go
yes.
back rather. And that sounds like just what happened with you guys. Like the door opened and it was like, okay, listen, God, I'm trusting you. I'm going to do all the things I need to do. And hey, we're going to go for it.
Yes,
You
I
did.
do. You know, it's we experienced a lot while we were preparing. There's an incident that I'll never forget. We had a showing that day, and at the time, well, we had a two-story house, and right above the kitchen was a restroom. And I remember we woke up that night, and it had the toilet. I guess I can't remember if it was the toilet or the shower had been leaking. So when we walked in the room in the kitchen, the whole ceiling had like collapsed, and here we are, God is just it's crazy how it worked, because shortly before we left, my husband was laid off.
Mm.
So he was, taking the kids to school and mentally preparing himself for the move and doing what needed to be done at home to make sure that the house was, up to par to be able to get the most out of our equity. And I was the only one working, and to think like, oh my God, we're so close, and here we are with this situation that could have put doubt in our mind to say, yo, maybe this is not the move for us. Maybe this is not where we're supposed to go. It was a lot of things that we had to fight mentally, spiritually, to even get through that moment, And so we got it taken care of. And when we sold our home, it was the most beautiful house I'd ever seen. I was like, oh my God, we literally just transformed the house from the inside out. And just to sit back now and think like how everything just happened, we just believed and we had faith, and we just wanted it so bad that we knew there wasn't any other way to get it done than just move forward, despite of what was happening, despite of what it looked like. This was the opportunity that God had given us. And it was like we were going through these tests and trials and tribulations to see how bad do you want it. And we ended up just getting the place fixed. And like I said, we were gone 18 months after we decided to move. And like you, I took because it was my husband was working nights, and he sent me a text message in the middle of the night, and he's like, let's move to Thailand. And I was like, is he crazy? Thailand. We have a house, we have kids, we have jobs. Like, what in the world? I'd never even traveled outside of the country, like I only stayed within Texas, my time alive. And so, it was the unknown for me, literally. Like, I hadn't flown on a plane before. I didn't even have a passport. I had never left Texas. Well, I had, but as a child. But it was definitely something that I was not prepared. And I went to work the next day, and I talked to my boss, and I told him, and he told me, like your dad told you, like, this is an opportunity that you may never get again. Imagine the beautiful things that your kids can say when they get older. Imagine the life experiences that they will have based on this one decision that you make. And sure enough, I went into my prayer closet, and then I told him, like, okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. And he was like, what? Okay. And so, the process began. But it's just, it's really good to just know that when you operate in faith, you can't fail. You
Yeah.
cannot. You
Yeah.
cannot. But you have to wholeheartedly believe, that it will work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And I love how you said that. And we're going to get into our questions, but I love how you said about in the journey, there was some obstacles, but
yes,
you didn't let those obstacles stop you. Y'all
yes,
just kept moving forward. You fixed it. You did the things that you needed to do. And you didn't get discouraged, because a lot of times people can get discouraged, when things happen and they're like, oh my God, well, maybe this really wasn't for me, when
hmm,
it really is for you. But like, it's not, the road is not going to be easy. Who said that the road was going to be easy all of the
who
time?
said
Yeah,
right?
so life, there are challenges, there are things that happen, and you guys didn't give up. And that's the beauty of your story too, that you kept pushing forward, and you thought about your kids and just the wonderful experience that they would have, and I thought about, as you were talking too, people of color, a lot of times these opportunities do not come, or they may come and we just don't take them because we feel that, oh, no, I can't do it. But
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, we're going to do this. As I was preparing for the show, I was just doing some research, and I had read an article on Terrence, and they were just saying how a Black man doing Muay Thai, like, who heard of that, right? And I was just like, wow, like they did this. They did this.
Yes,
And it really just shows again that we can do anything that we put our minds to do. We can do it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So as we're hopping on into our show, Jay-Z. So again, you trained in Muay Thai, and we know that Muay Thai is very disciplined and is very focused. And
Yes.
so when you're in the ring, you have to be focused, you have to be disciplined. How can you transfer that into like your life, your everyday life? Because you'll be able to use those same tools, right, in life that you use in the ring.
Right. So, it's training. When you prepare for anything, you have to train, you have to even, it's a mental battle to even just say this is what I'm going to do, right? So, when you train Muay Thai, it's you have to prepare yourself to even say, okay, I'm taking on this fight, because I mean, Muay Thai is a very dangerous sport. Whether you prepare to fight or whether you're just training, you could get very, get hurt, God forbid you pull a muscle, or you know what I mean, anything. But then when you say, you know what, I think that I'm prepared to get in a ring with someone who's probably going to try to knock my head off, just like I'm going to try to knock their head off, but you want to make sure that you are mentally strong to even get in the fight, and I feel like Muay Thai, martial arts, I mean, I'm sure in other arts it's the same, but we're speaking just Muay Thai. I'm sure Muay Thai is it's where you mentally prepare to get where you want to be. And same thing with life. If you don't prepare your mind mentally, you're not going to get there, And so being in the ring and the things that you apply not only in the ring but just getting into the ring, preparing to get there, is it's like in life, you have to take on some things, some challenges that you're like, okay, how bad do I want this? Who do
Yeah.
I want to become? Because just like when you fight in a ring and when you fight in life, it's the same thing. You're still dealing with doubt, you're still dealing with, fear, the unknown, and just preparing to get into the ring is hard enough. But when you're in the ring, it's like, okay, I've been here before. I've done this before. Maybe not in the ring, but you've done it in life. You may have dealt with something, that was a deep wound or a scar that could have, scarred you for life. But how did you deal with that? How did you apply what you've learned throughout life to be able to overcome the pain and the hurt and everything that you felt the betrayal and whatever it was. I feel like Muay Thai prepares you for that as well. It's all mental.
Yeah.
It's all mental.
I like how you said that. It's mental because a lot of times when we look at a fight, right, we're looking at the fight. So my husband, Mr. Johnson, he's Mr. Johnson on social media.
Oh, wow.
When people say, oh, that's Mr. Johnson. But he loves to watch fights. He loves to watch UFC. He loves to watch boxing. And I don't really like to watch them. Now, I will every now and then, if it's a boxer on, what is his name? I think Devontae Davis. I think that's his name. Yeah, he's a boxer. Now, I love to watch him. Yeah. But
Yeah.
when I watch these fighters, they go into the ring. I be thinking, wow, are they scared? Are they fearful? Because even if they're a champion, I'm just like, okay, what is going through their minds when they are getting in that ring? But then, like you said, it's like they've been there before and
Mhm.
they know, okay, I have to stay focused. I have to stay disciplined no matter what my opponent is doing. I'm in here to win this fight.
Yes.
And that's really what you just said with life.
Right.
Like,
And so,
we're in this to win.
yeah, and so honestly, you can't go, and we tell, I I don't know if the viewers know or not, but we have an academy, and we were there for 5 years every day. We prepared guys who had never fought before to fight. We prepared guys who maybe enjoyed, fighting out in the street, but then, you come into an art and you have to be disciplined. You have to train every day. You have to eat right. You have to think right, and we would always tell them, like, you cannot go into the battle before you even go in the ring. You can't go in there thinking, oh, I'm defeated. Because if you go in there with just a little bit of doubt, it's it's over. The fight is won before you even get in there. Because you have to be mentally strong and mentally disciplined to say no. If even just a little ounce of doubt or anything comes in, you have to know how to battle that and how to say, you know what? No,
Mhm.
no, I come against whatever this thought is whatever I'm feeling, whatever you have. It's just mental discipline, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's a whole battle in itself, just even saying I'm going into the ring.
Yeah.
So it's like, also, like we said, it in life, you take on a new job, you go into a new relationship, you lose a family member, or just in general, just life is happening, but how do you take on those battles mentally? How do you face them? Do you become a coward, or are you courageous? Are you brave? Are you strong? Are you disciplined? Are you resilient? Like, who are you? That's when the true battle, the true essence of who you truly are, comes out.
Yeah. I like that. And, speaking of battle, even in life, the battle, can you think of there was a time just in life, and since you've been doing Muay Thai, that because you have just really grown, you've really matured in it, and just in life, period. Has there been a time that you may have thought, oh, I'm just going to give up, but then you remembered, oh no, I need to keep going. I'm going to keep going through this.
Uh, Honestly, since I changed my way of thinking, I can't think of a time,
Mm.
because I've been on this journey since 2014, and I can't say that I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I practice this every day. This is my way of thinking, my way of living. I don't give doubt any room anymore. But before I came to this way of thinking, sure, I mean, there were plenty where I wanted to give up and say, you know what, like, this is not worth my life. This is not worth what I want to be or who I want to be. But You know, when I started changing the way that I think, it was more like there's no, you know, there's no giving up. You know,
Yeah.
when we moved in 2016, it taught me resilience, and it taught me, you know, perseverance and long suffering. You know, like there's no way I would ever go back to thinking opposite of the way I think now, because I know it works. You know, I know that when you feel like giving up, you don't give up. That's when God wants to see how strong you truly are. How bad do you really want this? You know, is it going to be something that you're just gonna give up on quickly? And if it is, then why do you deserve it?
Yeah.
You know, why should God give it to you? You know, and if you keep going forward, and you know, you say, I'm going to do it regardless what it looks like, regardless what it feels like, because sometimes it doesn't feel good.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's heartbreaking, sometimes it hurts to the core. But then, you know, there's just this little voice inside that says, why are you giving up? Why is giving up even an option? You know, why there, giving up shouldn't be an option. Ladies, if you're listening, if you're here, do not give up. this
Do
is this is this is it. This is it. Okay, this is God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, you know, telling you, I want to see how bad you want it. I want
Yeah.
to see how far you will go. I want to see what you're willing to give up to get to where you want to be, the things that
Mhm.
you want to accomplish. This is where it happens. So
Yeah.
if you're listening, giving up is it's that's for the weak. And if you're here, you're strong. So keep going.
Keep
Okay?
going.
Because keep going. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be easy. It's not. Nothing in life is easy, you
Nothing.
know. And if it were easy, we would all be champions. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
In
Exactly.
every way, in every way, you know, we would be perfect, but we're not perfect. We're made perfect, and the only way to be made perfect is to go through it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I
So
like that. And everything that you said was change your mindset.
that's
That's
it. That's it.
like change your mindset. When your
That's it.
mindset changes and it shifts, then your whole life shifts. And I
Agreed.
love how you really broke that down for the ladies and even the men watching, whoever is watching. I love how you broke that down because when your mindset shifts, there is a liberation. There's a
Yes.
freedom. It's like you are free. You're just running through the fields and you
Yes.
know, like
It's
just
like a burden just
yeah, absolutely.
liberated is the correct word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So I love how you said that. Okay, so we have Tina Marie Rodriguez. She said, Coach Daisy, we miss you. Christine,
Tina.
we love you, Coach Daisy. So yes,
Um,
Daisy, you have some people in the comments and they are missing you and loving on
I love
you.
them too.
Yes, absolutely. I hope you all are enjoying our show with Daisy Johnson, and we are talking about finding the flow in every step of life, just finding that flow and talking about changing our mindsets. And so we're going to continue our conversation with Daisy, but we will take a quick commercial break and we will be right back.
Hey, beautiful. Yes, you. Want to live well, think well, and glow from the inside out? Let's talk wellness, Jackie O style. Here are your top 3 wellness tips to keep your crown high and your spirit higher. Protect your peace. Say no without guilt. Block the drama. And sis, rest is a right, not a reward. Nourish your body and mind. Drink your water, eat your greens, and feed your soul with the Word of God daily. Create a daily glow movement. Every 10 minutes, Journal, stretch, or sit in stillness. Your glow deserves space. Small steps, big glow. Follow Jackie O for more wellness that fits your real life. Because when you think well, you live well. Jackie O, helping women glow from the inside out. We honor the trailblazers, the innovators, the unstoppable women who inspire us every single day. From history makers to everyday heroes, women continue to break barriers, uplift communities, and shine their light. Here's to you, your strength, your resilience, your glow. Because when women rise, we all rise. Through smiles, laughter, and shared moments, human connection bridges hearts, transcending barriers, and illuminating the beauty of our shared humanity. In every glance, touch, and conversation, we find solace, understanding, and belonging. Cherish the bonds that unite us, for in them lies the essence of our existence. It's all about the connection. Get ready to start your month with inspiration and empowerment. Motivational Monday with Jackie O streams live every first Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Join me as we dive into conversations that help you think well, live well, and glow. From practical tips to powerful stories, this is your space to reset, refocus, and rediscover your best self. Don't miss it. Mark your calendars and catch the glow live. Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jackie O.
Welcome back to Motivational Monday with me, your girl Jackie O, and our special guest Daisy Johnson, who is joining us live from Bangkok, Thailand. And we have been talking to her about her journey. She is a former professional Muay Thai fighter. Like I said earlier, y'all, her whole family, they're all champions. She has two sons. Now, is your daughter a fighter as well?
She actually fought once. She
Okay.
won and she retired, but she said it was she said it was too much work. She said, I'm not built for this, you know. She's a girly, she's into makeup, she's into the hair, you know, she's into the business aspect. So our goal for her is to teach her the business side of the business so she can take it when mom and dad are ready to retire and, you know, chill out for a little while until it's time to go home, if you know what I mean, you know. So yeah, that's our goal for her.
Okay. All right. I love that. And I love how it's a whole family thing. It's a
Yes.
whole family vibe, as they say. The whole
Yes.
family is a part of it. Your sons, they're fighters, and your daughter, she's going to do the business side. And you guys are training them, to on that path. And so I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I know we've been talking about mindset and changing our mindset because really at the end of the day, that's really what you have to do is change your mindset. But I know we have some people on here and the questions that they have, and I know I get asked this question often, like how do you stay grounded? Like how do you stay grounded in the midst of life? And all that's going on around you. Like, how do you stay grounded, Daisy?
Meditation.
I like it.
That's it. That's it. I mean, there's nothing I do more than meditate. You know, my life is a prayer. Every second, every moment of my life is a prayer. And I don't mean like get on my knees and pray, but I mean like talk to God everything everything and anything that I can think of, I talk to God. If I have an idea, I talk to God. If there's some things going on, I talk to God. And when I say I talk to God, I'm not like, God, help me. No, no, no. You know, I speak to that thing inside of me, that thing that if I close my eyes and I say my name, I can hear it. You know, that is what that's who I talk to. And when I mean, we made a big decision. You know, we had a business back home. We've been live for 5 years. We had a great group of trainers who helped us. We had great students. We had kids who, looked up to us. And, we had a whole thing going on back home. But, we realized that God was calling us to do something else, to reach a different demographic, and for my son to pursue his career and follow his passion and his dream. And it took a lot for us to get here, and we had to pray, and we had to talk to God, and we had to make sure that this decision was the right decision. And it took us just meditating and praying and fasting and talking to that spirit within, that man within that says, okay, this is it, or no, maybe this is not the time, or do this instead, or go this way, go that way, or that's how we move. Anything and everything that we do, you know collectively as a family, or individually, we always take it to God in prayer and meditation. And when I say meditation, is to me is where I go into silence and I listen. I don't speak, I listen, because the heart already knows what you need. The heart already knows what you're there for. So there's no need to say, oh, I'm here for this, or it's already in your spirit. That so that that's what you're going in there for. And when you're there in meditation, you allow the spirit to just guide you, and if it's hurt or whatever, comfort you, and you allow it to you know um just make you feel better in a way, make you feel like the decisions that you're going to make, or the decision that you're looking to make, is the right decision, versus going on what it looks like. When I go into prayer, I'm like, all right, God, I'm here. What we doing? How are we going to get to the next one?
Yeah.
So, but meditation, I started meditation shortly, like real meditation shortly. I was in fight camp, my first fight. And my husband had been, like I said earlier, he had been preparing, when we were trying to move the first time. He was the one who was into the mental thing, and he actually was the one who, I mean, he was the leader. So I followed, right? As I should. Women, follow your husband, okay? I know to the world it sounds crazy, but that's how it's supposed to be. If you
Mhm.
follow, let him lead, let him guide. And if he's aligned with what God is doing, you're not going to fail. I promise. Right. So, anyways, I started meditating during my fight camp. And is it getting dark? Because it's really gloomy here. And I feel like it keeps getting darker.
Yeah, but we can still see you well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I started meditating, and I was upset with him. I'm like, you never told me this is what it was like, to meditate. What in the world? So, I started meditating in 2016. No, I'm sorry. Yes, 2016. And it's how I deal. That's how I stay grounded. It's how I've learned to deal with things in life. It's how I've learned to deal with people. It's how I've learned to just become who I am now. I don't have friends. I don't have very many people that I talk to, but I have the most beautiful relationship with self. And that's what keeps me grounded. I mean, you don't need outside influences.
Yeah.
There we go. You don't need outside influences to influence you to do something. The answer is always within. If you go within, it's there. It's
Mhm.
it's always there. So
Yeah.
that's how I've learned to stay grounded. The old Daisy, I'd have been all over the place, calling this one, this one, this one. What do you think? What do you think I should do? What do you think about this? And now it's like I shut the world off. I shut it out, and I just go into my meditation. And when I get there, God already knows what I'm looking for. And
Yeah.
the answer is always given.
Yeah.
And ladies, my advice to you guys is go there. Go there.
Mhm.
because Jackie knows me.
Yeah.
Jackie and I, here's a little bit of story about me and Jackie. Jackie and I, we started church at the same time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like back to back, I think. And we became really good friends. I loved her kids. I didn't have any girls at the time. I was a single mom. And, so she knows who I used to be. She knows that what I'm saying is true. I used to call everyone. I'm dealing with this. This is going on. Please help me. How do I? And it wasn't until I realized that the answer was within that I said, I don't need to call anyone. I don't need anyone in my corner telling me anything.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I was sharing this. I had dinner with my old boss when I lived here in Thailand when we were here last time. I had dinner with her on Sunday night and I shared that with her. Like, you don't need anyone. It's just you. Because at the end of the day, it's just you. It's not your husband, it's not your kids, it's not your friends, it's not your in-laws, it's not your family, it's you and
Yeah.
only you. And only you really matters because it's just you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, granted, we have loved ones, but whatever I'm dealing with, my husband can't help me. He can help me in this realm that I'm in, but here he can't. I
Mhm.
love him to death and I know that, he means well and all this stuff, but God is the only one, self is the only one who can lead and guide me, you know? And that's how I stay grounded. So get
Yeah.
in your meditation. You don't need people say, I don't know how to meditate. It's okay. Your mind is going to go all over the place. What's for dinner? What should I cook? Oh, did I do the laundry? Did I do that's normal. But once you get in there and you start practicing, it
Mhm.
works.
Yeah.
It works. Just be silent and
Yeah.
listen. So
Yeah.
that is my advice. And that is how Daisy Johnson stays grounded.
And I love that, Daisy, because as you were talking about that, a scripture came to mind about be still and know that I am God. Sometimes we're just, as you said, we're all over the place. We're
Yes.
doing and just all over the place.
Mhm.
But if we can just sit still, like just sit still and then just let him talk to us, let him talk to our spirit and just be quiet for a moment. It's like, okay, God,
Yes.
I hear you. I got this. And the prayer part, I just talked about this a couple of days ago on a post is that, or yesterday, whenever it was, is that you don't have to always be down on your knees or in your prayer closet or, all the things. Yeah, that's great when you do those things. But sometimes we're not in a place to do that. I could just be in my car at the stoplight or going through the
Yeah.
and I'm praying at that moment, okay, God, this is what I have before you. Like you said, he already knows anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm just making it verbal to him, but he already knows what's in my heart. He already knows what I'm going through. So I'm like, okay, God, I need you to help me. God, this,
Yes.
God, whatever it is that we're talking to him about. And it could just be just a simple conversation because that's what prayer is. It's a conversation with God
Conversation.
we're having, with him. And so I just love how you broke all of that down so that listen, ladies,
Yeah.
just still, just be still,
Just
you
just
know.
be still.
And so like Daisy, with everything that you have going on and you're grounded, you talked about the meditation. How have you set those boundaries and stuck to those boundaries so that you can be well and be well all the way around in your spirit, your physical, and your emotional? Like, how did you do that with setting healthy boundaries?
I separated myself. Just separated myself. Like I said earlier, I don't have friends. I don't sit on the phone and gossip with people. I don't talk to anyone. I barely scroll on the internet. Like I'm focused, you
Yeah.
know. I feel like when we moved, God allowed that time for us to be depleted, depleted from the world, depleted from material stuff, from people, from just the way of thinking, and it's just it, it's just separation. And that's, at the end of the day, those who are going to be there will be there, and those who are not won't be there. And if they're not there, okay, I like to say, so mote it be, meaning so be it, you know um but that's how I operate. I mean, I love the people in my life, like Tina and Christina. Those are women that I connected with, and I poured into them, and they watched me live my life. Tina's been around, godly, 4 or 5 years. Christina, maybe two, 1.5. And they watched me every day, so that they know that this person that they're watching is the real deal. Like, this is who Daisy is. And I mean, separation. You have to separate yourself from who you used to be, because, like, I mean, I don't want to throw religion out there, but I'll throw the word out there. You can't pour, you know, new wine into old skins. Like, you literally have to become someone new, someone different, because you can't be around the same people and expect to be someone different when all those people are still the same people you used to be, you know? And so I feel like that was a time for us, for myself and my husband, to say, you know what? It's just us.
Yeah.
We're in a foreign country. We knew nobody when we got there, and we had to get closer to each other. We had to become one, literally, because we didn't have anyone else. We didn't have friends, we didn't have family we could just call any time of the day, because we were 12 hours ahead. While I'm awake, you're asleep, and while you're awake, I'm asleep. So, the time didn't really match up for us to sit and chit chat about, excuse my language, but BS. You know what I mean? So instead of leaning towards having conversations with people about random stuff, I used my time to get closer to God. And who, when I say God, I'm referring to the self image, who I was, who I wanted to become, the way I wanted to start thinking, the way that the things that I wanted to manifest, the things that I wanted for me and my family and my life. And had I believe now, had I not done that, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I'm very happy with who I am today. And as long as I'm happy, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm
Yeah.
happy. Like, I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with the way that I am. So, you know,
And it starts with you. As we've been
absolutely.
saying through the whole broadcast, it starts with you, and you have to love yourself. You have to know who you are and whose you are, right?
Yeah.
We know that we are daughters of the Most High,
Yeah.
and so we have to walk like that. We have to talk like that. And all the chatter and all the naysayers and all of that, that really has to just go out the window.
You got to cut it off.
Yeah, you have to cut it off. And that's where that, again, before the break, we talked about that liberation, right? That's
Yes.
where just us being free, that's where that comes from when you do that. And then, of course, with God, we know that with
Yes.
God, all things are possible. And when He's in our lives too, then all of these things happen. They manifest all the good things that He wants us to have, because
Yes.
He wants all the things we've been talking about. He wants us to be happy. He wants us to be joyful. He wants us to have peace in the
Peace.
midst of the storm. He's like, I just want you to have peace, right? He
Yes.
tells us that. Like, He tells us He wants us to live in abundance. And I think a lot of times people get that scripture mixed up with just materialistic things. But no, He's telling you, in our emotions and just our overall well being, He wants us to have an abundance of peace and joy and happiness. Oh my
Happiness. Oh my God. Yes.
God.
Yes.
Like,
It's
yes.
and it's nice and it's refreshing. I always like to use the analogy of a coin. You
Mm,
know, it's got two sides.
yeah.
And I always say this side of the coin is it's beautiful. It's peaceful. It's liberating.
Yeah.
That's the perfect word. It's like it's nice. It's
Mhm.
calm, it's
Mhm.
gentle, it's loving, it's caring, it's
Yeah.
it's all those things, to where if I look on the opposite side of the coin where I used to be, because I know both sides of the coin
Mhm.
personally,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I don't care what it takes. I don't care. I will never go back to that way of thinking.
Yeah.
I feel like once you've come this far, like there's no going back.
Yeah.
Even if you're 2 months into the journey, because I like to use the analogy also that we're like gardeners, and our thoughts go before us. So if I'm thinking negative and I'm feeling negative all the time, and I'm feeling sad and beat up and broken, what are you going to continue to walk into?
Yeah.
The same things over and over. Is not until you change your mind and say, you know what, I'm happy. Even if you're broken, you can say I'm happy, and you walk into that. And then before you know it, you're like, it's been 3 days and I haven't had a bad day. Let me see if
Yeah.
I can go a week, a month, a year, 2, 3, 4, and then you look back and you're like, I can't remember the last time I had a bad day. And if they're bad, I don't know they're bad,
Mhm.
because I don't know, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Like
how
that.
that's how I think everyone, men, women, children, everything, we should all be teaching even our kids, like, say good things about yourself. Say things that lift you up. Say things that make you great. Say things that will awaken greatness within, because we are created in God's image. We are, you know, if God was the ocean, we're all little drops of the ocean.
Oh, that's good.
So, let's all be great. I used to have this saying in my kids class, and even in the adult class, I used to say, anything that I attach to the words I am, I become.
Mm.
And I had students, little girls, little boys, telling me, like, they use that. Before I take a Coach Daisy, before I take a test at school, I always say, I am great. I am smart. I am brave. And I made good grades. I had little boys who came in with their head down and just beat up, by the bullying at school, or, kids being ugly. And, they leave my classes and they just felt like, "Oh, I am great. Coach Daisy even told me,
Yeah.
and these words that I rehearse at the end of class, they make me great. They help me become a better kid. They help me, they awaken something within me that I didn't know I had. Even adults, even as simple as I am happy.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, how often do you hear someone say I am happy? They'll
Mhm.
say I am mad, I'm angry, I'm this, I'm that. And it's hardly ever something positive, because it's the world that we live in, and people take yesterday's burdens into tomorrow, and then they keep manifesting more bad stuff because they've carried that into tomorrow. So, we all need to remember tomorrow's a new page. And yesterday's burdens don't have to go into your tomorrow.
Yeah.
They can be left back there, and so mote it be. Who cares? They're there. It's the past. They don't, define who I am today, who I am in a week, who I will be in a month, in a year, 10 years from now. They don't have to unless you allow them to. So, I think that everyone should awaken greatness within.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. That that was good. That was really good.
Yeah.
And it just lets us know too, when you were talking about the coin and both sides, I too have been on both sides. And I know
Yes.
what it's like on that other side. And I don't want to go back.
No.
And not only do I don't want to go back, I am not going back. That's my sentence. I
Right.
am not going back to
Yes.
that,
To the
because
other side.
yeah, I'm not going back to the other side. Absolutely not.
No.
Y'all, we're going to be right back after this commercial break, and we are going to be wrapping up with Daisy, and she will be sharing with us her final words to the audience on the words that she wants to leave with you. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Our calming butters are the ultimate solution for self-care, designed to nourish and soothe your skin. Available in 3 varieties: original, posit, and markless. They each cater to unique skin needs, from hydration and relaxation to targeting scars and stretch marks. Pair them with our Oh Girl Yes self-care coloring book, perfect for unwinding while exploring your creativity. Both are part of the Glow Collection by Jackie O, dedicated to helping women think well and live well. Shop the Glow Collection by Jackie O. Get ready to start your month with inspiration and empowerment. Motivational Monday with Jackie O streams live every first Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Join me as we dive into conversations that help you think well, live well, and glow. From practical tips to powerful stories, this is your space to reset, refocus, and rediscover your best self. Don't miss it. Mark your calendars and catch the glow live. Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jackie O.
Welcome back, everyone, to Motivational Monday with Jackie O. We are super excited that you all have been hanging with us on this episode. And if you are just getting in, if you are late, listen, that's okay. You can go back and watch the replay. This has been some amazing information. Let me see. In the comments, we have Tina. She says she is literally in tears right now. She definitely needed to hear that. And let's see, Christina said, I'm glad the boys are here to listen, because the information that we are sharing tonight is for women and men, boys and girls. We all can learn from what we are talking about on tonight with Daisy. So again, if you're just hopping on, that's okay. Go back, watch the replay, share it with others, because this really is some good information to help you to live well and to think well. And it's all about in our mind, y'all. It's all about changing your mindset. So as Daisy, we're getting ready to close. Every time we have a great show like this, it's like we always run out of time. We need more time. And actually, Daisy, we have done this before. As one of the ladies that was on my show from Paris, Jocelyn, we had like 2 additional shows because she had so much information and people were like, oh, this is good. We want more. And so we brought her on. So we'll probably have to bring you back on at some point.
That's good. I thought, like, before the show, I was like, what am I going to talk about for a whole hour? Now I'm like, oh my God, I wish I had more time.
I know. So we're going to bring you back on. We'll get together and see what's a good time for you, and we'll bring you back on. But this is absolutely amazing. So Daisy, as we are closing the show out, what would you like to leave with the audience on this evening?
One thing that I want to leave with the audience today is be strong. Be strong in what you believe. Be strong about what you want to accomplish, who you want to become. And remember, guys, it's all mental. Everything you're going through, everything you will go through is only in preparation to get you to where you should be. So whether it's you get knocked down, whether you feel like giving up, whether you feel like it's too hard, remember, it's only a test to get you to where you need to be. So, oh, that was lightning. Oh my goodness. Bangkok, I hear you. So hang in there. Don't give up. It's not an option. It's just a test. Keep going, keep pushing. And remember, it's it's beautiful on this side. So I can't wait to see you guys on this side. I can't wait for everyone to awaken greatness within. I'm super excited for the next show, and
Yeah.
send questions in. We'll be looking forward to answering whatever you guys have. And, Jackie, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for the ladies who tuned in. I'm so glad that you guys were here to, this is actually my first podcast by myself where I've shared my side of the story and the mental aspect of it, and what it's like to be a wife who supports your husband, all the way across the world, together as a unit. So it's very nice to, share this side. So I'm excited. We come on 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Good. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, Daisy, again, thank you. Thank you so much for being with us on this evening. And how can everyone get in contact with you?
I am on Instagram at Mrs. TJ the Thinking Man. Also, Facebook and Instagram for the Academy. We're at Kingdom Martial Arts Academy. If you're in San Antonio, don't forget to visit the Academy. My son is now running the Academy, and he also thinks like us. So, the same stuff that we were teaching you guys, he's going to be teaching, the mental aspect, the Muay Thai aspect of it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions after this live stream, hit me up in the inbox, and I'll be glad to share anything that I can share with you guys. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you for taking time off and hanging with us for a little while.
Yeah. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Daisy. And
Thank you.
we'll let you guys know soon what we're going to be doing next. All right. We're going to sign off with you, Daisy, and we have just a couple of things we want to share with everyone. And so hang on real quickly.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys, again for tuning in to Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jackie O. Again, as Daisy said, we will be planning something really soon so that you can, and something that you could be a part of, not just watch us, but, possibly we'll talk about doing maybe a virtual workshop where you can ask her questions and we can really dive into this. But until the next time, our next show is going to be Monday, June the 2nd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we have another hot mama that's going to be coming on talking to us. She's from Georgia, and she is going to be talking about her new business about the blowout. So if y'all have some babies and y'all know about them blowout Pampers or diapers, listen, I haven't had any babies in many, many years. But for those of you that still have babies, you definitely want to tune in to this show, the next show that we're going to have on Monday, June the 2nd. But again, thank you again so much for tuning in. Please share this broadcast. Until the next time, we hope that you continue to live well and to think well, and we'll see you soon.